What is the EU planning, if anything, in response to last night's votes? What's going to be happening out of Brussels and out of Strasbourg?
Well, Belle, that's of course the question of the day. For the moment, the EU institutions are once again in wait and see mode. Our sources are telling us that there's no plan B on the table for the moment. Now, we saw a very quick reaction from the EU institutions last night from Jean-Claude Juncker in the European Commission and Donald Tusk over in the European Council, which would suggest that they had their statements ready to go. And in their statements, they both said that they regretted the outcome of this vote and they called on the UK to clarify their intentions as soon as possible. They said that they had offered clarity and reassurances this week in that exchange of letters and shown some goodwill on their part. They said the deal, that withdrawal agreement that was signed off on over 51 days, they said that that was the only possible deal on the table. It would not be renegotiated and it was a fair compromise. And in that statement, Jean-Claude Juncker and Donald Tusk also said that they would be preparing for a no-deal scenario because the likelihood of that possibility had just gone up. But as you know, no one here in the European Parliament in Strasbourg or in any of these institutions in Brussels want to see that. And that's why we saw a rather thought-provoking tweet come out from the head of the European Council last night from Donald Tusk. And he said, if a deal is impossible and nobody wants no deal, then who will finally have the courage to say what the positive solution is?
All right, well, what is that positive solution? Indeed. Maeve, the European Parliament, when it meets this morning, will, of course, be discussing Brexit and the vote that took place yesterday. What do you think is going to come out of that discussion?
Absolutely. As of 8:30 this morning, Michel Barnier will be briefing members of the European Parliament, and he already met with them late into last night around 11 o'clock, and I had a chance to speak to some of them after that meeting. Let's take a listen to what they had to say.
We are clearly against any watering down on what is in the withdrawal agreement. That would not be possible, would not have our consent. We has always been open to more ambitious relationship for the future.
I mean, you can't allow a bad thing happen because you run out of time. I don't think citizens anywhere in the UK or in Europe will thank us if we said, well, sorry, but we went wrong because of time.
If you start a discussion 2 years ago under the slogan "Get back control" and your parliament is paralysed, perhaps you should go back to the people and ask them.
So members of the European Parliament there from the Brexit steering group who were meeting late last night, and the heads of the European political parties, all really just as confused about what could possibly happen next.